Hello everyone. In this video tutorial, I will be showing you how to develop a multi-threaded application using an example, ACPA example called pattern generator. Basically, what this application does is it will generate some sort of a patterns like sine wave pattern or something similar to that. So for that thing, we need, let's start with the project. Create a new project. Then select the MFC app, then name the project as pattern generator. Okay, generator. Then select the source location, training, full stack development, Visual C++, beginner, tutorials. Okay, pattern generator. Then create the application. Then I will select a single document template. Then then we will use the office style. Okay, tabbed interface for this application. Office style tabbed interface. So that is file extension. Okay, PTG. Okay, whatever. Okay, PTG filter name pattern generator. Okay, then this is the modern this office ribbon tab is like the modern UI looks. When you say about ribbon tab, I hope you already knows about it. Let me okay, so I will show it next for docking pane. Then what are all the things are actually generated: app, mainframe, view, and dock. So let's see how a ribbon tab look like. Let's launch the application, complete it and launch the application. Taking a bit of time. Okay, let's try to run first the application, how it looks like. Okay, with the ribbon tab. Okay, so let's I'm just trying to run it. Local debugger. So basically it's a SDI application but with a ribbon tab, modern UI ribbon tab. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, ribbon tab looks like. So this is so what we will do here, we will add one pane here where we will have the pattern or something like that, and we will have the additional buttons placed here. Okay, so let me take the resource file .rc. Then before that you can see what are all the things generated. You have as usual the SDI document class. You have the SDI view class here. Okay, then you have the frame window class here, outlook bar or whatever, frame int ex. Okay, then you can see the application class as well. Just a minute, where is that? Pattern generator. So you can see the application class, which is right now it's derived from VWinamp ex because it is using the modern UI look and feel ribbon tab. So this is actually compatible with latest classes like VWinamp ex, which is again derived from PWinamp. Okay, so these are the classes which is generated. If you want to have details about any of these sort of classes or the base classes like C document, you can go through the internet and the Microsoft documentations in the internet, where you will be able to get all the details regarding each class. Okay, each base class and why it is there. Okay, so let's, for the time being, let's try to design a new pane for this thing. So we will take the ribbon menu. Okay, then what we will do is we will add a new pane, ribbon editor. You will create a new panel here. Okay, then we will name that panel as pattern settings. Okay, whatever. pattern settings. Then what I will do is uh, I will add two buttons here, start and stop. Okay, so that is start the pattern and stop the pattern. Okay, start button 2, start, then I will add one more button called stop. Okay, then I'll have one more button called stop button, stop. Okay, so what we will do is we will add an event handler for this start and stop. So what we will need to do, add event handler, same as with the other tutorials. Go to the view, then you put the event handler here. Then what we will do is fx message box, we will confirm that it is coming here. Okay, start, then we will add one more event handler here, add event handler. This time it is stop. Okay, so we'll have the start and stop. Let us confirm it. Or you can start, stop, or what we will do is we will have other operations as well. Start, okay, sorry, stop, spelling mistake is there, T-A-R-T. Anyway, it is going to get removed from here. So we will have the basic view class where you can see an on row, and there you need to, when you click on the start button, then you need to start a thread, like where first what we will do is we will try to increment a counter, where we will be able to show you the from a thread, like how a counter can be incremented, okay, from a thread. Then later we will create the sine wave generator pattern. Okay, so what we need for that thing, what we need to do is just declare there is a class called C win thread. Okay, C win thread. So what we will do is we will create a class called C win thread. So this class handles all the threading related activities like suspend, resume, stop, etc. Okay, maybe current. Okay, so when you actually create the thread, you might need to initialize it as null. Okay, here that's a good practice to initialize it as null. So where is it? So in the constructor we will be initializing it as null. Okay, maybe we might be adding, maybe we might need to add pause as well as suspend, or we will put the pause. Okay, suspend pause. Suspend, where what we will do is we will put it as suspend address view. Okay, suspend, then we will put a resume thread also. Okay. That will usually show you some of the features of the thread. Okay, button 4, resume, we will add this handler as well. Okay, here it is suspend, then we will have the resume thread. Okay, so this is basic multi-threading. Okay, multi-threaded application and operations. Okay. Let's try to run it. Start, suspend, then resume. Okay, so we actually created a thread. Now what we need to do is we need to add a threading function, thread function, like a thread method where it can be easily it can be called whenever you click the start button. So let's define the function name as start thread. Start thread. Return type should be unsigned integer uint. Okay, unsigned integer, or you can put it as uint. Okay, then this should be a static method. There should be the parameter should be lp void. Okay, lp void, then param. Okay, so lp void is a void pointer which is actually passed through a thread function. It should be static, it should be public. Yeah, start thread. So what we will do is we will define it here. So you will have a start thread function where now when you call the start method, you need to initialize the start the thread like this. Okay, thread equal to afx begin thread. This is a standard method which is available in Visual C++, where you can start the thread like this. Okay, okay, so this is what the standard way of doing function. So in the thread function, so what we can do is we can cast the pointer of this view variable, because we actually passed this pointer. That means that it's a view pointer where you can cast this as like this and get the pointer of view class, so that we will be able to do whatever we want. We will call the different methods inside the view class. So what we will, for the time, what we will do is we will first initially try to display a counter. Okay, integer m_i counter. So counter. So initially we can initialize it to, let's see, where is it? Initialize this to 0. Then what we will do is we will display the counter here on row what C string str data dot format. Okay, then this is we can format it like printf. The counter equal to %d. The counter will be incremented from the thread. Okay, counter. So and then pdc, we take this device context. Device context is the one which will display all the graphical related, do all the graphics related aspects, like drawing the line, outputting the text, etc. So there is a method called text out, where what we will do is we will display this text something like str data. Okay, so we will display if the counter is greater than 0, else we are not going to display. If greater than 0, then we will display the text. Okay, for the time. Okay, so inside there are different methods. Methods for the, for example, suspend start thread. Here we need to start the thread. Start the thread. Here we need to suspend the thread. Top means suspend. Okay, suspend thread. Then there is something called resume thread. Okay, here we can resume the thread. Okay, resume thread. Okay, so we can resume the thread. Now in the side of the thread we will put a while loop, like while true. So this is going to be inside the thread an infinite loop where we will be able to might be the counter can be a public variable, so that it can be accessed outside from the object. Okay, so what we will do is we will put m_i counter plus plus, then we'll put a sleep method, sleep for 100 milliseconds, 100. So before that we need to invalidate, or we need to repaint the screen. Okay, invalidate. So invalidate means repaint the view area. Okay, so that's what it's saying. Okay, let's try to run this application. Just put the start button. So this is like counter, suspend, then resume. See this. Okay, so this is a basic application. So maybe now what we will do is we will try to generate a sine wave generator. I mean, try to draw a sine wave generation pattern. So for that thing, for what we need to do is we need to have the sine wave generation algorithm in place. For that, what we need to do is when you start a thread, we might need to store the points inside the class, whatever points which is actually generated from time to time. Let's say most of the sine wave is actually generated represented using x is equal to a sine omega t, where a is amplitude and omega t are the parameters where t might be varying. In our case, what we are going to do is we are putting the variable t as our counter, and then we are doing the rest of the things. So the t will be a counter variable. So what we will do is I already have some ready-made code here, so that I will paste it here, so that so as to ease. So initially what we need to do is we need to initialize a array. So this is basically this is C array is nothing but a doubly linked list. Okay, doubly linked list which will act as an array, and it is a template class. You might already know about template class. If not, please go through the C++ specifications regarding the template classes. This can be act as an generic array where you will be able to hold any type of data structure. For the time being, for this project, I am actually holding the C point. C point is nothing but the 2 point x and y points that can be held into an array. So why we need it? We need to add a set of points based on time. As the time progresses, then we need to plot this points in the on row, so that it can trace the trace the patterns of sine wave. Okay, so what we will do is we will here put this point like my point. So I'm just copying and pasting here, and I will explain it. So here, so right now what I did was I just incremented the counter and just done the invalidate. I'm going to replace it with this thing. So just the same thing. Okay, then counter. So what I'm doing is I'm doing x is equal to a sine omega t logic. Okay, a similar where t is actually nothing but the counter here. Okay, so once we added a set of points to the point array, okay, then what we does is I just invalidating it or repainting the scene, so that you will be able to automatically generate, automatically draw the sine wave here. Okay, so how can I again draw the sine wave here? Again, we need to get all the arrays and iterate it and put it as a move to line to chord, okay, so that it can draw the lines, okay, straight, okay. So let me tell you the increments. So I'm actually, for the counter, I am actually incrementing right now. It's with an increment of 5, so that I can generate a decent sine wave pattern. So let's take the on row code as well and paste it here. So on row code, what I am actually doing is I'm just I'm looping it and putting all the datas, looping and plotting all the datas with the move to and line to with the previous point and with the current point. So this is actually the current point, this is the previous point, and this is going to be the current point. So it will be iterated in a loop wise manner, and it will display it. So let's see what is actually there in the C. So when you start it, see this, okay. So this is nothing but the sine wave generated pattern, and this can be assumed. So like this, okay. Start, okay. So let's say if you want to select a blue color for the text, or blue color for the line, what you need to do is there are other things which we can do it to do all this blue color and other stuff. What we need to do is there is something called a class called pen, okay, where we will be able to create a solid pen with the red color. Then once you select the red color, then we will be able to plot it on a red color. Then once your task is over, then you need to put it back, put your object back, the old object back, so that it will not affect the other system, okay. So this needs to be done correctly, otherwise there will be resource leaks. See this, okay. So if you want to create pen, if you want to have really good width for this, yes, you can change it like this, okay. So this thickness is actually increased of this pattern, okay. So likewise, this can be you can use it as a basic starting point for any pattern generation, or this might be the starting point for any simulation related application as well. So most of the simulation applications are doing like this, or we will be able to store all the points, and then we will be plotting it. It might be using GDI. This is called CDC is called graphical device interface. So there might be other technologies like in Windows programming you might be using CDC or GDI technology. There are other technologies like OpenGL, and there are other technologies like DirectX, which all use the similar type of techniques, okay, to plot and render into the screen. But the technology is actually different for these sort of simulation related applications. This may not be used, this technology, GDI technology, may not be used to this level, that level, I mean like the gaming level, or like that. For that thing, mostly we are actually using, for that thing we are mostly using the OpenGL and DirectX. Okay, I think I have communicated most of the aspects. If you have, I will be coming back with another set of video tutorials. Okay, thank you for your time.